Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm Chris and you're watching Headlight Revolution. In this video, we're going to show you how to upgrade the rear brake lights and the rear turn signal lights on your 2007 to 13 Toyota Tundra with high power LED bulbs. On the taillights, you can also do reverse lights. We do have some other products for those. Check out our other videos if you're interested in the reverse lights in a high power LED as well. When you're upgrading the back end of the vehicle in the taillight housings with LED bulbs, you really don't want to skimp on the product. There's a lot of LED bulbs out there that are pretty dim. Even though they might say it's brighter than stock, it doesn't, most of them don't work very well, which then causes a safety issue, especially in the daytime, especially if you have tinted tail lights. The last thing you want is somebody crashing into the back of your truck and saying, I didn't know you were stopping, and you said, I had my brakes on, I had my blinkers on. Well, they couldn't see it because you use LED bulbs that aren't bright enough. Two things. Number one, you gotta match the color of your LED with the color of the lens you put it behind. So for the brake lights and parking lights, you got to use a red LED. For the turn signal, you got to use an amber LED. The reason for that is if you use a white LED, sure, it'll be brighter than a colored LED in terms of lumen output, but you're really going to change the way that the housing looks. You put a white LED in your brake light, it's going to look pink. You put a white LED in your parking light, or excuse me, in your turn signals, it's going to look yellow or white depending on your housing. For example, this taillight housing is smoked, but it's also clear down here. Use a white LED, you're going to have a white blinking light. You don't want that for your rear turn signals. So if you use a white LED, it technically will be brighter, but the light output's not going to be right. It's going to look weird, and it'll be less usable. When you use the right color behind the matching color of lens, it appears to be more full. It actually appears more bright because there's more of the color shining through, not just this white trying to blast through the colored lens. So when we sell the kit for the Tundra, we sell you exactly what you need. You don't have to guess if you're getting the right thing because we already figured it out for you. So two products that we're going to talk about today. The first one is the rear turn signals, and the other one is the rear brake and stop light bulbs. So that's a total of 4 bulbs, 2 turn signals, 2 stop and park light bulbs. What we're going to be using is the GTR Lighting TW6 style LED bulbs. We use these for a few reasons. A, they're way brighter than the stock bulbs. Here's the stock rear blinker bulb. This is the stock rear turn signal bulb. And this is the new one. It's much, much brighter. You can see the difference is pretty clear here. That they're totally different, and if you look at the bottom, they're the same. You've still got the same type of wedge base, so you unplug one, plug the other one in, and as long as you've got the polarity correct, it should light up right away. One of the reasons that we use this product is for a very long time, this has been the brightest type of LED bulb on the market. A lot of them that are out there are not as bright as even the stock light bulbs. And we even have some in stock that are not as bright as this, and they've got their place. If you're putting them on the front of the vehicle where you don't have them behind a lens, it doesn't really matter how bright they are, you're going to see them. But when you have them in the back of the vehicle behind a lens, a colored lens or a tinted lens, you want them as absolutely bright as possible. They look better when they're bright, better safety, there's just everything else about it is good to have the best and brightest possible product. The other thing that I like about this particular bulb from GTR Lighting is not only does it have your chip-on-board type 360-degree light output, it also has a forward-facing version with a little projector lens in front of it, which really aids in light output backwards. So you can see we've already got the rear turn signals on, and we have the TW6 style bulbs installed presently. Here's the thing, if you look at the LED blinker that we put in, the GTR Lighting TW6 bulb in amber, and you compare it to the stock LED turn signal light in the side mirror, the color is great. It's perfect. It looks exactly like it matches the stock blinker in the mirror. And that's a big thing to a lot of people. You don't want to have something mismatched. So if you were to do a white or a low power or a different brand of LED bulb, this is not going to match that. But with this setup, we're showing it to you right here, you're pretty much guaranteed a perfect match. So we have a pair of red bulbs and a pair of amber bulbs. The red ones are just plug and play. Pull out the stock bulbs, put the new ones in. I'd recommend having the headlights turned on though, so that you know if they're working. If you plug them in one way and nothing happens with the headlights or the parking lights on, take them out, flip them around and plug it back in. Make sure that they're both working, and then have somebody stand behind you as you have the parking lights on and hit the brakes, make sure everything's working. That's totally plug and play. We don't even need to show you how to do it. You're gonna see how to get access back there, but the install is the same as replacing a stock bulb. Then we have the amber bulbs, again, plug and play. Pull the old one out and plug the new one in. It'll be way brighter than stock, look like this, instant on, instant off for really great effect. But the other part of the kit for the rear turn signals are these 25-watt resistors. If you don't have these in, you get that hyper flash or that fast blink kind of an issue. So we're going to tell you more about these and show you how to put them in. In order to take the taillights out, all you need is a T30 Torx bit, whether it's on an impact driver like this or a ratchet. And then to do your parking lights and brake lights, it's just a pair of bulbs. There's nothing else needed. Take out the originals and put in the new ones and you're good to go. However, for the amber blinkers, you're going to need to splice the resistors in. So the bulb itself is plug and play, but then we have to put the resistors in line. So you need some kind of a wire cutter to splice into the wires. You're going to need a soldering iron and solder with some electrical tape to make your connection. And then you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, again, preferably on a drill or an impact, to mount your resistor. See, the resistor has two tabs on it, one on the top and one on the bottom. The way that the wires go in is they're both the same color, so it doesn't matter what goes where. One side can go to positive and the other side goes to negative, or vice versa. They're not polarity specific, you just gotta have them connected between the two wires that run your blinker wires. So you tie those in, you make your connection with your tools, you solder it, you tape it up, and then you use your Phillips screwdriver and the screws that come with it, and you mount them to the sheet metal inside the fender back here, right behind the taillight. So let's take off one of the taillights. I'm going to show you how the wiring works. Taking the taillight out is very easy. There's a T30 Torx bit bolt on the bottom and another one on the top. Once you remove those two bolts, carefully remove the taillight from the truck. Make sure that these spikes on the back side or these metal clips for the screws don't touch the paint. And then what I'm going to recommend you do is actually remove the tail light from the truck. Unplug everything and then set your tail light housing aside. So here's the original bulb. You can see it's kind of got this glowing on and off. It's very slow looking. It's not very bright. And if you can actually see the bulb in the housing, you're going to see that it's colored amber. The new LED bulb, instant on, instant off. It's a lot brighter and it looks really cool if you can actually see it in the housing. Once you've identified your rear turn signal socket, you'll see that it just has two wires coming off of it. This particular truck is black and green with a yellow stripe. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what the colors are because there's only two wires, and all we have to do is tap into those two wires with your resistor. Now if you look at the instructions that come with this kit, it actually says, for LED turn signal bulb upgrades, caution, this product gets hot up to 180 degrees. Always secure to metal, away from anything that can melt or burn. Yeah, that does it for me. I'm going to make sure that these are installed very, very well. I'm going to get out our Phillips bit for the screws. The first thing that you're going to want to do is take one of the screws that comes in the kit and drill the hole where you want it to be. So take your resistor and kind of line it up, figure out where you want it to be positioned. If you look right here, there's this big flat surface in the sheet metal, and you can tell there's nothing there. You can actually see behind it because there's two holes cut out, and you can tell there's a couple inches here. So if we put a screw there, that's not going to affect anything. So first make your hole. Once you get your pilot hole drilled, you can then choose one of the mounting legs on the resistor. You don't need to do both. Get it lined up into that hole that you just drilled. I'm going to make sure that this wire isn't rubbing on anything, and that's it. So you can see the way this works is we have one side of the resistor wire going to the black wire on the rear turn signal wiring, and the other red wire coming off the resistor goes to the other wire. They need to go connected to this one, connected to this one. Don't cut a wire and put it in between the connections. You got to jump it, go between the two wires. Doesn't matter which one's which, they're polarity independent. So there you have it. Now that's done, and we can put the LED bulbs back in and put it together. So right now I have the parking lights on and the four-way flashers, so I have voltage going to both sockets because the LED bulbs only go in one way. If you have them in the wrong way, they aren't going to turn on. It's not going to hurt anything, just nothing's going to happen. So if you plug it in one way and it doesn't work, just flip it around. You got a 50-50 chance. Seems like you get it wrong more often than not. Flipped around. Now it's working. That one's good to go. Got the resistor connected to the amber rear blinker, and the parking light slash brake light doesn't need anything. Just plug it in. So you can see right now it's kind of dim. This is your parking light feature. When we hit the brakes, it's actually going to get brighter, and there's going to be a very noticeable difference between parking lights and brakes. So now my assistant is going to hit the brakes. So you can see it gets a lot brighter. That's parking lights, that's brakes. Parking lights and brakes. So there you have it, the job is done. Now we got brighter tail lights and brake and park lights in the back because we use the GTR Lighting high power TW6 style 3157 LED bulbs in amber and red. The hardest part of the install was taking the tail lights off the truck. If you think you can do this to your 2007 to 2013 Toyota Tundra and want brighter lights in the back of your truck, check out the links in the description below our video to find these two kits for sale on our website at www.headlightrevolution.com. If you want to see what else we have for your Tundra, please click the subscribe button to our channel to see what we have coming up next.